The Sharks head to the desert and get bit by the desert dogs. And 2 challenges. Ooh, tough one to take. We'll break down this nail-biting 1-0 victory for the Desert Dogs right now on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. December 15th, 2023. Sharks lose 1-0 to AC Arizona. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. The Arizona Coyotes. Welcome to this edition of Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive Sharks post-game. We do this after every game, so if you want to be part of the show, chat with us and fellow Sharks fans all over the world and Sharks territory on the page or the app. Follow us on the socials. And, of course, find everything at tealtownusa.com. And if you want to support the pod, jump in the Super Chat and you can make a donation there or hit us up on Venmo at tealtownusa. And with that, I say good evening to you. It is I, Puck Guy, alongside Mr. Ian Reid. What's happening, bud?
Not much. You can also yell at me in the chat for free. You don't have to Super Chat me to be mad at me. It's going to be fine.
If you want, that's fine.
Yeah.
And when he says not much, he actually was talking about the game. And with that, good night, everyone. I mean, let's be real here, dude. Oh, man. We got 1 goal and 4 penalties to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot. I mean, there is things to talk about, but this game was pretty, up until the end, I think the third period, it's been kind of reminiscent of a lot of Sharks games lately where it's like the Sharks don't realize they're allowed to score goals before they're down in the third period. These ones just didn't count, but I don't know. It's kind of been normal for how the Sharks have played lately. They've done some pretty crazy comeback stuff. This is a weird game though, because I feel like no matter what the outcome was here, I think there was going to be people that were going to be mad, right? Because if the Sharks come back and win this one in regulation, then people are like, oh my God, but what about the fucking tank? Because I feel like that's coming soon, right? People are going to start getting a little panicky about the point accumulation. And then, when they draft 3rd overall in June, people are going to be like, yeah, because you remember fucking December when everything was fucking awful and they were getting all those points? I don't know. I feel like, so I don't know, man. I feel like no matter how this game ended, I think people are going to be mad. I don't know.
Sure. And I get it. You could look at the 2 no-goal calls that Arizona has, or you can go with the fact that the Sharks only put 21 shots on goal after, having a crazy road trip where they just went off with the exception of maybe the Boston game. So it's okay, now all of a sudden you had a 2-1 gritty victory over Winnipeg, which looked really good after the Jets took care of LA, and then you go into Arizona, which
really good, yeah.
Who's on a good run? I think they entered just 1 point out of a playoff spot going into tonight. They've been playing really well. Connor Ingram's been an unreal netminder for sure. But yeah, I get that there's going to be some people that are frustrated. And just looking at the chat, right now we're having a conversation here and there.
Yeah.
But
Thomas Bortolo just made it 2-0 Barracuda on a power play goal.
Sorry, I still like the old goal song. That one's for you, Kevin. All right, Bortolo scores 2-0 lead against Calgary. Heck yeah.
Yeah, his 7th of the season, considering he's only been down there for a little bit of time. It's not a bad goal total for him.
Yep. So we'll be keeping.
Sorry. Anyway, back on.
No, you're good. We'll keep you updated on the Barracuda as we go throughout the show. Just another Randy G, a super chat donation. Thank you very much. I was at the game. Oh, yes. I think we saw you on there on the NHL. Yep. Then you say right there. I was at the game. Somehow got put on the NHL Instagram. Watched the game behind the net. Tough loss. It was fun to watch an NHL game in such a small arena.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be a good environment. I think look, obviously it's the NHL. You want the NHL games to be played in an NHL size arena,
right.
But I think the atmosphere in Mullet Arena must be just insane because it's always like, obviously, yes, it's a small arena. We all understand that it's not an NHL size arena. It only sits so many people, right?
Right.
But I don't know. I still think that atmosphere must be just out of this world.
It's got to be fun. It's got to have that college spirit going on with because it is Arizona State's rink.
Yeah.
Granted, about the size of the Barracuda arena.
I was gonna say TechCU seats more people, doesn't it?
I think just a little bit more, and so it's kind of interesting to see when it was Shang and Max Miller in attendance what they were talking about. And they were talking about how it got the nice ambiance for the NHL game. Obviously the AHL doesn't have as many people, and if you look at the attendance at the game tonight, you could see why for the CUDA. But so it would be nice to go down there one time, and this would have been, if you're a Bay Area sports fanatic, this would have been perfect. Friday night you have Sharks Coyotes, Sunday you have Niners Cardinals. So yeah, but we're digressing into this. Let's just get to the game-winning goal. Kahkonen, I don't think there was much he could really do.
Shit he could have done there. It was just, it was a deflection. Like I think he played the puck perfectly. The puck deflects weirdly. It ends up in front. It just, it basically, it's one of those fluky, weird goals that comes out and like just perfectly goes on the shooter's stick.
Right.
Kahkonen's playing the puck properly. He's expecting it to come back. He's expecting it to come back out.
Yeah.
In front of him. So he's playing to that corner, and unfortunately it takes a funny bounce, goes out in front of the net, and there's not really much he could do there. It's a bad bounce. I mean, you could probably maybe pick on a defender there, but I just think, it's Arizona got an opportunity and they made the most of the most of it.
Yeah, and we'll get to the two goals that didn't count for the Sharks. First one from Eklund.
Yes, we can make everyone angry.
Oh boy, Ian's getting excited right now. You can tell. I mean, seriously.
Ian gets to antagonize the shit out
of me. The Eklund goal was nice. I'm kind of
sweet. It is 3-0.
3-0.
Nathan Todd.
Yes. All right, Kuda. Thank you for making up for the goal scoring in the NHL game. Appreciate it. But the Eklund one was a nice pickup. I liked it. The juicy rebound by Ingram. But I'm kind of with you. Definitely looked like goaltender interference, especially that deep in the blue.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? So let's break this down. I'm going to tell you, like, I understand. So I get the arguments, right? Because I have a lot of people I'm sort of like, where is Cunnin supposed to go? And I agree. There's not a whole lot Cunnin can really do in that situation. But, like, where's Connor Ingram supposed to go? Is he supposed to jump into his net to get out? Like, he has to try and play the puck there. He's more entitled to that ice than Luke Cunnin. And I know this is going to piss people off, and you can go off in the chat and get super pissed off at me, and it's fine. I don't care.
He said, Ian Blogs Hockey, everyone.
Ian Blogs Hockey on Twitter. Yeah, you can go help me on Twitter. It's fine. But here's the thing. So I'm like, I understand what people are saying, right? I understand why people are upset. They're like, well, what's Luke Cunnin supposed to do? But I don't understand. Like, so ask yourself, take your Tilton glasses off for a second, TM, and and just like ask yourself objectively, what's where is Connor Ingram supposed to go there? It's not like he's at the top of the blue paint. He is deep in the blue paint. He's got to try and make a play on that puck. Like, he has to try and make a save there. It sucks. I think it's a shitty situation. And I feel like deep down, I feel like it was the right call. I know it's not the popular opinion tonight, but look at, man, I love William Eklund goals. William Eklund goals should be always, but I just feel like I don't know what Cunnin should have done differently there, but I don't think that means that he should be able to, and you can say, well, Connor Ingram made contact with him, but he's deep in the blue paint. Again, what's he supposed to do in that situation? Just not move and do nothing. And like, so I don't know what the hell, like, I don't know what the solution there is, but it clearly took him out of the play. Like, the dragging foot clearly took Connor Ingram out of the play. It's the right call. I know it's I know it sucks, and I know that we would like it to not be, but I just feel like 9 times out of 10, that's gonna be the call every time, unless it's the Sharks. That would be the 1 times out of 10 where someone's gonna make contact with Kahkonen or Blackwood like that, and they'll call it a goal.
Yeah. Just another Randy G. Okay, it's the right call, but I'm still mad.
That's fine.
And that's
look,
understandable.
I understand it. Like I understand people being mad about it, but I just again like I feel like if you just need to take your tilt-tinted glasses off, trademark, and 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 just kind of try and be like, okay, so that's what I'd like to know. Like, what is Connor Ingram supposed to do there? Because I think he is just as entitled to that ice as Luke Cunningham, if not more. It's deep in the blue.
No, yeah, it's a tough one, and like you said, usually what's going to happen with the Sharks getting the goal with it.
Yeah, when the roles were reversed, that's totally a goal because
totally.
But I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's the right call, and I feel like that's the call that would get made like 9 out of 10 times.
I just want to know, why was Tommy Wingles dressed as William Eklund on that play? So. And if you're new to this, I think Tommy Wingles had like 4 or 5 goals called back on goaltender interference when he was with the Sharks.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You felt bad for the guy. The one that you feel for also is Mikael Granlund, who had a slippery move to beat Ingram to retie the game up. However, Anthony Duclair, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look at this one. There's really nothing to discuss here. This was so blatantly, obviously offside. The only thing that, like, the problem here is how did this is one of the ones where you ask, how did the linesman miss it? It was so obviously offside. Man, I don't know. Like, it's, that play should have been blown dead long before you get that pretty goal. And it sucks. Like, again, right? Like, you don't want to see pretty goals taken off the board because of an infraction, but this was an offside situation where, like, it was obviously, like, this wasn't a situation where the Sharks were offside and then the play, they played in the Coyotes end for 5 minutes and then a goal goes in and you're like, well, what the hell did the offside have to do with this goal, right? Like, obviously It was a big part of the re-entry, and it's unfortunate, but it's, again, this was an easy call. It sucks, again, right? But if you're mad at this, I think you need to open a rule book or your eyes or something.
Yeah,
like if you're mad at that one, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
I can understand being mad at the goaltender interference, but this one, yeah,
I don't, not necessarily mad at the refs, but mad that okay, Duke, you got it, you got to hustle and watch the play, get back on side. If anything,
needs to get on side, like he, and he knew it when it happened, right? Like he just. Sometimes, and I don't really want to pick on Duclair here because I think he has worked hard these last few games. Like, the Sharks have, as a team, have worked a lot harder than they had earlier in the season. I think, they definitely, there's a couple times where they could have just packed it in. I don't think they did at any point in the third period, even after the goals. It sucks, but, the rules are the rules.
Yeah. And again, Randy, hey, I hope you had a great time, and it sounded like you got Desert Dog fans giving you beers and everything. Like, wow, that's awesome. Again, right call, still mad.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's disappointing, right? Like, it's disappointing to see the Sharks put 2 in the net and have them count for nothing after, and I think, like, I don't think there was anything like egregious that Arizona did where you're like, that is absolutely a penalty. But, like, when the Sharks took, I don't know. I mean, and I don't think that penalties should be even. Like, if one team, takes a bunch of penalties, I don't think the other team should be penalized to even it up. But I was surprised. Like, I'm not mad that the Sharks didn't have a power play this game, but because I didn't think there was anything where it's like, where's the call? Like, that's an obvious non-call.
Right.
There's some ticky-tacky stuff that they could have called, but again, I don't like the idea of just calling penalties just to even things up.
Right. Matthew Gagnon, Quebec City here, Canada.
Yeah.
Go Sharks. Hey, thanks very much.
Yeah,
love hearing where, of course, he is saying F the refs.
Yeah,
so,
that's fine.
But
like,
that's
again,
totally
man, I get it. Watching my puppy roll around behind me.
All good. Andy, man, good to see you here in the chat. I am neither upset or disappointed. Ooh, I got hiccups all of a sudden. Excuse me there. Coyotes are a good team playing well overall, but especially at home, sometimes
Yeah.
happens.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, again, like I don't like I think if the Sharks were like if this was a game that mattered, like if the Sharks like if I wanted the Sharks to win games, I'd probably be more pissed off at this than I am. But I don't want the Sharks to win games. I want
Yeah.
the Sharks to play entertaining games. But I don't necessarily want them to just, we don't need them to go on a tear right now. Like
I
like
mean, we
like
we
it's
were
not like
talking
they
about
like
we
go
were
ahead.
talking about like well, they are kind of just 7 points out of a playoff spot,
Oh,
and
stop it.
and considering how crappy the West has been all of a sudden,
Oh,
you just never know. I mean, what we have like 3 coaches that were fired in the West so
yeah,
far, so
that's
it's
true.
like
Yeah.
oh, maybe
No.
no, but
Stop
no.
that right now.
Well,
I'm having none of it.
hang on. I'm just saying, give them kudos. They were 6-2-2 in their last 10 coming into this one.
Yeah.
They've been playing well. Tonight though, honestly, I know they were talking about the ice at Mullet Arena, but it
Well, did
looks
the Barracuda play the game before?
oh no, but it what the game was sloppy, and the puck. I think it was, what was it,
The puck was bouncing around a bit. Yeah.
yeah, on the
I just, I just it's my favorite thing.
no, I
The
know
real
it's
one, the
fine,
real ones know what I'm talking about.
right? It's why there's Texie Arena now, so. But yeah, it's one of those things where I see Granlund feeds it up to Duclair, and he has a great chance, but Duclair can't stop the puck from bouncing, and doesn't really get a shot in. So it's again, the bounces just were rough, so so the Sharks lose this one 1-0 to the Desert Dogs, with the win that leapfrogs them over the Blues into the second wild card spot at 30 points. So now the Sharks, for those, is there anybody even hoping? Now sit 9 points out of a playoff spot. But yeah, I think more than anything, Ian, you want this team to be competitive, and they showed it on
Yeah.
that road trip. They played well against Arizona. Yes, it was a 1-0 score, but kudos to Kaapo Kahkonen, and you can also give
Yeah.
kudos to Blackwood in the past. But Kaapo played fairly well. I mean, a 958
He's
save
been really
percentage.
good lately. Kaapo Kahkonen's been really good lately. I know Kaapo Kahkonen's a guy who I have, he replaced Martin Jones for me at certain points on this show over this show's history. He kind of became my new Martin Jones, but
Oh boy,
but he's been really good this season. I thought it was a foregone conclusion. Like Blackwood's here, Kakonen's gone. I I don't know. Like we'll see what happens, but if Kahkonen can keep this up, and I don't know what to attribute it to this turnaround. Maybe Ryan Miller coming in has helped them out a lot. But if I'm not opposed to him sticking around for another year or two if he can keep this up. But we'll see what happens by the end of the season. It's still a long season. There's a lot of games ahead. I think the Sharks are 30 games in. So
yep.
There's another, 52 game, or what is it? 52? Yeah, 52 games. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, with the way he's played this season, I would not be upset if he came back. Obviously I don't want to see the Sharks sign him to a redonkulous contract or anything, something similar to what he's making now, similar term. But I wouldn't be upset, especially because I don't think there's any. Unless if your plan is to bring Mäkiniemi up and be the backup there, but I haven't seen enough Mäkiniemi this season to be that's a good idea.
Or Romanov, or
no, those guys are first year pros. They're not coming up next.
Nobody in that
those
name
guys
just
need
yet.
time in the AHL. Those
Right.
guys need way more time in the AHL. I wouldn't bring either of them up to be the backup next year. Mäkiniemi, though, I think is a guy who could be in consideration for that, depending on how the rest of the season goes. Again, he's had a lot of injury problem since coming to San Jose, even before coming to San Jose. So I mean, he's played well tonight. I think he's played well for the most part. But and again, and then Rob in the chat saying I'd listen to a Kaapo trade versus a Blackwood trade. I mean, yeah, so if Kahkonen plays well and somebody wants to take a flyer on him, I mean, I think that would be better. Then because again, we've seen, Kahkonen's been here for what 2.5 years now, like by the end of the season.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like it's nice that he's playing well in a contract year, but contract year too.
Exactly. And kudos to them going back and forth with, Blackwood and Kahkonen, just kind of almost like, oh, yeah, see what I did last game? All right, try and prove it this time.
Yeah, I mean, and Kahkonen's earned the starts. Like, I think that's the important thing, right? They're not just like, it's not just about them just, evening the load. I think Kahkonen's earned the starts. I think earlier in the season, Blackwood kind of was carrying the load but Kahkonen's really earned his way back into the lineup. And I think that the way they've split the goaltending, it's been smart. And as long as both goalies keep playing well, I think it's great.
Right. Goal support is very important, though. Tough one for them tonight. Of course, they have the two that get taken away, and of course, that could have turned a loss into a win. Mm-hmm. But you need some help, center or forward wise. And to segue a bit here, they do get a center of sorts in this trade that happened, a few hours before the game. Jack Studnicka from Vancouver comes to the Sharks in exchange for Nick Cicek and a 2024 6th-round pick. On this one, I'll let you share your thoughts, and I'll let you know what I found out.
Okay, so I mean, my thoughts here are like the Barracuda. I said this on Twitter before the game when the trade was announced. Like the Sharks in general have just like a glut of defensemen. I'm not saying they're all good, but they have a lot of them, right? They have so many of them that at points during the season, both teams have played defensemen in the forward positions. Like that's how dumb it is. So obviously with Nico Sturm going down, they don't really have a guy on the Barracuda that they're clearly comfortable with bringing up to fill that role. So they traded for Jack Studnicka, who's a guy who's, he's had a cup of coffee in the NHL with a few teams, nothing super to write home about. His big season, like he played for the Vancouver Canucks in 22-23 for 47 games, had 8 points. So he's a guy that's obviously gonna slot into the bottom six and try and make up that hole that Nico Sturm filled up. The only thing that really bothers in the 6th-round pick, obviously, Nick Cicek, he's a guy. Like I know a lot of people in the Sharks fan base seem to like him, but I've never seen it. To me, he's always been a guy.
Right.
So I'm not really upset. The 6th-round pick, whatever, it's a 6th-round pick. I don't care. So the only thing that bothers me about this is another situation where they have, and again, obviously they're trying to fill a specific role here, right? They're trying to fill a bottom six role. So I kind of understand it. They look at who they have on their roster right now, and they're like, well, no one can really go down and do what Nico Sturm does. So we're going to bring this guy in. But it's another guy who's been brought in at the expense of not bringing up a guy like Bordeleau or Gushin, who I think who both have been really, really good in the AHL and probably deserve a look. Now I understand they don't play that game, so I can understand this. But yeah, I don't know, man. It just, and maybe when everyone gets healthy, then Studnicka goes down and he can help the Barracuda. He's not a super goal scorer for the Barracuda. I think his best season was 2019-20 in Providence. I think he had 40 points, like almost 50 points. So, I think he could definitely help the Barracuda because I think they could use some reinforcements. Even though they're winning tonight, I think they could use some reinforcements in their forward group. Yeah. So I don't know, like. I understand it, but at the same time, it's like, again, it's like, Justin Bailey getting signed to a contract, like right. They signed a guy to an NHL deal to prevent to not call up another guy. Like, to me, it's silly, but the Sharks are going to do the Sharks. This is a young guy too. Like, he's only 24, so maybe there's something there. He's a former second round pick in 2017. So I mean, like, maybe this is another reclamation project that might work. I don't know. The jury's out. I'm not mad at it, but I'm kind of like, whatever.
Right. And chatting with a couple of guys up in Vancouver, Jeff Patterson and Matt Sakaris from Sakaris and Price, the podcast, along with Rinkwide Vancouver. The consensus is that Studnicka had a good camp and almost beat Dakota Joshua out.
Yeah.
Up in with the Canucks, but he was a spare part. Then he got sent down. Then he had to clear waivers, which that kind of hurts a little bit when you hear that. He can skate well. Hasn't really found a role at the NHL level. It sounds like he was a goal scorer, but it just hasn't translated over to the NHL level.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't, but like even in junior, like he was never. Even in junior, right? Like, I think his best junior season was 24 goals. So I mean, it's not like he was lighting it up in junior either.
Yeah. He's got a big right-handed shot, decent wheels, some physicality. Can play center, but probably better on the wing is what I'm getting when I got back. But it's a tough one to take, and there's the physicality level again. Are we going for grit again? Because this team really needs goal scoring, and if this is the guy's chance to do so.
Yeah.
So, Andy, man, thank you for contributing to the comments in the locker room. Quinn said he felt they were missing some energy. Quote, "It's one of those nights where you don't have a lot of your energy, and you can just feel there wasn't a lot of energy in the locker room before the game either." That's a frustrating one.
Well, I don't know. I mean, but we kind of watched that, right? Like we watched the game. I mean, it was until the third period when the goals like started getting called back. Like, we were talking and like we were DMing each other like, what the fuck are we going to talk about tonight?
Right.
So I mean, it checks out.
So let's go onward. Giovanni Smith with 2 penalties tonight. Ian, your thoughts?
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. He's Giovanni Smith. That's what he does.
No, but yeah,
Stop eating my chair, puppy. Oh, I'm not gonna have a chair. He's gonna eat it all.
What are you feeding that dog, man?
He's trying to eat my chair right now. He's trying to eat like the thing that controls me going up or down. So if I like suddenly just drop to the floor, it's because the puppy hit the button and I went down.
Oh, he go down hard. But yeah, it's you definitely feel that the energy wasn't quite there, and I don't know. I don't want to say that they got some home cooking for a couple of days, and all of a sudden the wheels have fallen off. But they had a good solid win. Oh, for you audio listeners, you're missing this out.
You got host.
Yeah, but that puppy is so cute. Reminds me of like a little bit larger. I had a little bit larger dog smaller dog than that, but he's such a good boy.
He is like 20 pounds right now.
Now,
so big. He's gonna be like huge. Like, look at the size of these paws.
Oh yeah.
Like, look at this paw in my hand. Like, it's ridiculous. You want to get down? I believe it.
By the end of the season, he'll be the size of Dino from the Flintstones and just tackling.
Ian by the end
mid-show.
of the season, if I pick him up, I'm going to throw my back out.
Hey, no, we do not need any upper body injuries going forward on this one. So,
right. You want to go down?
The love is just all over the place. So we'll see what happens. You get that. You also got Kyle Rao. I know we haven't been on since that happened. So Kyle Rao gets picked up from the Barracuda, or at least that's what.
Yeah, it's a good pickup. Yeah.
At least that's what we think his name is. I don't know. To me, he looks like a clean-shaven Kevin Lacey. I'm not gonna lie.
I've never seen them in the same room together.
Right.
So.
I got a picture of them that allegedly, But I mean, if I'll post it on our Twitter and Instagram, but it's like you add a goatee to Kyle Rowell, and it looks like Kevin a lot. But
Yeah.
what do you expect from Kyle Rowell? You said it's a good pickup, though.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's he's a guy who I think can add some decent offense at the AHL level. Again, the Barracuda forward group isn't very good. It's fine. I mean, Tristan Robbins is obviously there was kind of rumors that he might have been back last weekend. We haven't seen him so far this weekend, but it sounds like he's close to coming back. So I think that's going to super help the Barracuda. What's the matter?
I apparently he wants to know when Tristan Robbins is coming back, because that's like a secret.
Tristan Robbins. He's very upset about Tristan Robbins right now.
I don't know what's a bigger secret. Logan Couture might have had a career-ending injury that we still don't know what happened, or Tristan Robbins, who is still out too.
Yeah, I don't know. Aliens.
All right. Well, on that note, would you like to add on to anything that you would like to talk about at this junction of the program?
No.
Okay, fine.
I gave like last time we did After Dark with me and Jules, we just basically bashed the Barracuda all show, so they're gonna win now and make me look dumb. No, actually, they played a pretty good game against Calgary. Calgary's a team that they've even split with games so far. They're gonna actually, if they win this game, they'll actually have one more games than they've lost against Calgary this season, which is surprising because Calgary is the best team in the AHL. Although I think Dustin Wolf is up in the NHL, is he not?
Yeah, so, I think he got called up.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe that'll change things. I know it's Oscar Dansk in net tonight, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's I think they played good tonight. I think again, like they just need some more help in the forward. I think their defense is fine. Cicek's a guy. Although I don't know. I mean, Guryev's kind of playing top, like he was on the top pair, and I don't know if I like that very much. But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see. Like, I'll see how the Barracuda look this weekend. We'll have to talk about them again at some point.
Yeah, it's as of right now, it is 3-0. I'm assuming they're in second intermission right now.
No, they are 3:13 left in the third period. And it's 3-0 Barracuda. With their 30, they have 36 shots on goal. They played a pretty good game for the most part. Yeah. They played a pretty good game so far this game. And after the flogging I gave them last show, they should have, because all that matters is my happiness.
Damn it, Kuda. Make Ian happy. Damn it. Jeez.
Damn it.
Looking good. They play tonight, but also Michael Moss, stop it. Stop it. Cicek is now officially a Sharks legend. He played 14 games with 4 goals.
Yeah.
Or 16 games,
Sharks
excuse
legend.
me. Yeah.
Sharks legend. That's what he is.
Oh, calm down. But
Yeah, I wonder the Couture Couture thing, like it's interesting, because like I wonder if it's like if the context or like if it's kind of been taken out of context a little bit, because it's like I think when you have like setback after setback, like I don't know if he like, was it ever career threatening, or is that just the way he felt? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Anytime, buddy.
Yeah. Randy, met you in Seattle. You've been great. Have fun. I'm quite jealous of this. So,
Yeah, I'd love to go to Mullet Arena. It'd be great.
Besides Arizona, here we'll continue with this and chat. Join us on this one. What rink would you love to go to?
Oh God, so many. There's I don't know. Like I think like Mullet Arena, just because of the small arena NHL like team feel. Like I think that would be incredibly unique. I would love to go to a game in like Montreal. I think actually I can answer this. The number one place where I'd like to go to a game is probably Madison Square Garden. Yeah. I mean, obviously they've renovated it 100 million times, but it's the oldest barn in the league. So I think that would be really cool.
And Manhattan.
I think Montreal would be up there too. Like even though the arena is like obviously new, but newer comparison.
Newish.
Yeah, newish. I mean, it's probably old now, but
I mean, it's older than Capital One Arena in Washington. Sorry, trying to move to Virginia for that. Like, oh
Yeah,
my
I mean,
God, really, guys?
well, I mean, again, right? Like if I think in that situation there, like what I've heard is that traffic is an absolute nightmare to get to a Capitals game, and mass transit isn't much better. So
Right.
there is that.
Yeah. So I would go with Toronto, of course. That's probably the obvious.
Yeah,
But
Toronto would be cool too. I think
but
like if I had to pick between that and Montreal, I'd probably do Montreal. But I mean, like both of them, like I'd have to like sell one of my kids into slavery. It's probably not a good idea.
and wow.
I am going to Ottawa though. I'll be in Ottawa for when the Sharks play the Senators in January.
Nice. Nice. That's another place I would love to get to. Ottawa. Maybe when they
Ottawa's,
get the new
I think it's a
barn.
nice building. I understand why people don't like it because it's way out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's out in Canada, which is I make it sound like it's out in the sticks. But it's out in Canada, so it's like it's far. It's not. It's pretty far from like the downtown core, like But I don't know. I think it's a nice arena. Like I can understand why they want a new one, but I thought it was a nice arena. I mean, I don't have much to compare it to, obviously, unfortunately, but yeah, we'll see if we get an Ian bump this time. It's gonna be cool. I'm going with a couple of I'm going with a couple of friends, which is gonna be really cool. Like it's so I'm driving down. Like I have a friend who lives in Ottawa. He's in the Air Force, and so I'm going with him and me and my buddy Jordan, who lives here in the Sioux with me. We're driving down together, and I don't think we haven't done anything like this since we were like, I don't know, 20, and Ian is nowhere near 20 now.
That's right. He's only 20,
Ian is not
26, so.
Yes, that's right. I wish. So it's been quite a long time since we've kind of done something like this, so I'm super excited about it.
Very cool.
Nashville would be fun too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nashville. I think Nashville would be a lot of fun. Yeah. I think
Chicago too.
Something. Yeah. Like there's definitely a bunch of buildings. I think if I had to pick one, top of my list, MSG, second Montreal, just for the vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. New York for sure. Obviously MSG is probably the top of the list, but either you going to like, I almost said UBS Arena, in Belmont or in Elmont for the Islanders, or New York for just hitting that road trip would be fun. And obviously Toronto, and of course Felix is saying Puckeye and Dangle After Dark LFR win. Yes. Hey, we're this close. We heard Becker offered passes for Dangle to get out here January 6th against Toronto. And of course, Dangle, if you're watching, right back on the email, please. I would love to have you on. Okay, but all right.
But yeah, Michael Molas is saying I don't look a day over 25. The hair would disagree.
It's the lighting, Ian. It's the lighting.
It's 100% the lighting.
All right. With that, I think we're pretty much done here. In case you missed anything and you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or wherever you get your podcasts: Apple, Google, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Odyssey. And of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below if you didn't watch us live. Tell us what you think of tonight's game. Do you agree with us where the goaltender interference was probably a good one, or do you believe they should have won 2-1 and screw talking to
Barracuda win 3-0.
There you go. All right, and now we can
E2 Makiniemi.
And now let's talk about the Barracuda. Welcome to Barracuda After Dark.
No, not a chance.
Damn
it.
The
dog probably peeing on the floor right now.
Oh, all right. With that, Ian, your final thoughts besides your dog peeing on the floor?
All right. Peace out.
Okay, he's out of here. I'm out of here. We'll be back with you Sunday for Pucknologists. He just left. Sunday for Pucknologists. I don't know if AJ's making a return or not. Jerk will be there. It is a Pucknologist takeover of After Dark. So the Sharks play the Avalanche at 5:00. The show will be on a little after 7:30, so a little later than what they usually are on. So be on the lookout for that. So hopefully we'll have an answer for you as to what happens for Pucknologists on Sunday. And until then, thanks for watching, and keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone.